And obviously, you know, in my household, that was the first time I'd ever seen any rhythm. Yeah. So it was nice.
Oh yeah, I bet you're getting your close up. The first sip of a pint on a holiday with no kid.
Spoke from a true non-pint drinker.
Can you tell? Can you tell? Oh, it doesn't get higher than that.
Good luck trying to get that one down.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, team, and welcome everyone to And the Award Goes To, brought to you by Argos. Yeah. It's the hottest award show in town, the podcast where each week a guest drops by to hand out 5 fresh awards across 5 categories tailored to their passions or expertise. I think that's French. It could be the best breed of dog, the ideal way to spend a Sunday, or the best film of the 80s. Whatever the topic, they get to be the one-person voting body, selecting their winner of choice. And folks, today, we have an A-list guest for you, Britain's humblest footballer and favourite podcaster. He has 42 England caps, 108 Premier League goals, and 2 chart-topping podcasts. It's only Peter Bloomin' Crouch, everyone. Yes, come on, can we hug? Very well. Oh, it's my favourite thing when people hug when you just go on television shows or podcasts as if you haven't clearly met each other for about 20 minutes before. Welcome, Peter Crouch. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. I feel like I should have got dressed up a little bit now.
Well, don't you feel weird about it?
You've got a full tuxedo on.
I've got full tuxedo. I've mainly done it to make every single guest feel awkward.
Okay, yeah, and you've done it.
Yep, yeah. I actually wear this to bed. This is my pajamas.
You're always in a suit.
Yeah, I genuinely think, Peter, can I call you Peter?
Yeah, I'm going to allow it.
I genuinely think I'm the person who wears a tuxedo the most in the UK.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've just done all the shows that I do, award shows, corporate. Anyway, Peter, I'm going to explain to you the format of this wonderful thing that I've invited you to in your jogging bottoms.
I feel really underdressed. I didn't know it was a full awards evening.
Yeah, well, you know, it's okay. I'm trying to make it as casual as possible for you because I just want you to be comfortable, you know? It's okay, don't worry. You're Peter Crouch, you can do whatever you want.
I appreciate that.
You can do whatever you want. What's going to happen is think of this as your own personal awards show where you get to dish out the awards in categories that are made specially for you, right? And as you know, we'll send you these way in advance. So tonight, we get to find out exactly who those winners are. Each of your chosen winners will earn a wonderful spot on this incredible Wall of Fame, Pete, which, in case it wasn't obvious, is this massive red wall behind us. I'm expecting you to put your winners quite high.
Okay.
On the wall.
I can do that.
Quite high. I want it to be the sort of thing where you put your winners on the wall, and then our next guest will come in and be like, "Did you have Peter Crouch on?"
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So before we get into the awards, Pete, let's talk a bit about your history with award shows just in general. How do you feel about going to award shows? I know you've been to, obviously, the Brit Awards. There's football award shows that you've probably been to. Do you feel uncomfortable in those scenarios, like red carpets? How do you feel on red carpets?
I'm not really a fan of a red carpet as such. I like, awards evenings where I've won. They're my favourite. If I go to an awards evening, obviously, and I haven't won, then it's quite boring.
Yeah. It's quite difficult because they can't tell you beforehand whether you're going to win or not.
No, yeah.
And you were the winner at Stoke City's 2012 awards dinner, picking up Player of the Season and Goal of the Season.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Lots of things happened to me at Stoke. It was nice because I managed to get 100 Premier League goals there. The Goal of the Season was probably the best goal I've ever scored. And it was, Player of the Year is always nice because that's usually voted for by the fans. So that was certainly a good year, that one.
See, this is what I love. This is what I can I consider you a friend?
Yes, we are. Good,
thank you.
Very good friends.
I don't know loads about football, but I know you. I know Jamie Redknapp. and I just know you as people, and it always amazes me when I talk to you how unbelievably good you are.
Thank you. I
just
like
see you
this
as a
award
nice
show.
guy.
This is a nice one. I don't know how to answer that really, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're so
You're
good.
great as well.
Thanks, man. That's what I was looking for. Have you had any sort of weird sort of moments at any award shows? Have you been to like any ones like where you're like, oh, this is odd?
Odd, I don't know. I think one of the most kind of prestigious, I remember going down with Steven Gerrard to receive his PFA Player of the Year award, which is obviously, I've watched that show for years and years and years, never been to it even though I was a footballer, but when Stevie won it, I went down with him and just to be kind of next to the person that is about to go on stage. Like for me, that's the pinnacle, right? It's the best player in the Premier League of that season. So to sit there and kind of, it wasn't me, unfortunately, but it was Steven Gerrard. It was an amazing experience to actually see that kind of all unfold. Like things like, I don't know why, like I don't cry at anything. Like Ab says I've got like a heart of stone, right? I just don't like show much emotion. But bizarrely, like when people do well and like things are going well for them, I get kind of choked up. I don't know what that is, but it's like, even like it's down to the X Factor. Do you know, like when I see them go through and they're so happy and I end up like getting a tear in my eye. There was a magician on Britain's Got Talent, right? And Ab came in and are you crying? And I said, I was like, I am, yeah. I actually
made
am.
it disappear and then it came back.
It was a little kid. He was amazing, and and then when the whole crowd and it's the music, the whole thing gets me going. But I don't cry at anything else.
Well, should we get into it, Pete?
Yes.
Each of your chosen winners will earn a spot on this wall of fame, Pete. Yes. Never in the history of podcasts has a wall got a clap. But it has today. Pete, it's time to get into your awards. Your first category is the best goal celebration of all time. You, Pete, are a perfect judge for this. Obviously, legendary goal celebration that we all know and love. Tell us about, first of all, I'm sure you've told this story a lot, but I'd love to hear it again. The story behind the robot celebration.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long story. David Beckham had a party at his house before the World Cup, pre-World Cup 2006, and it was being filmed by ITV, and as parties are, it seems to be at his house, and I remember having a couple of drinks and going to the toilet, and I said, "I'll watch this," and I'm going to do something stupid on the way there. And as I walked past, I just did the robot on the dance floor, and a couple of lads were laughing. That was it. And as I turned around, there was a camera right in my face. I went, "Oh!" And I kind of carried it on, and then went to the toilet. Anyway, the next day, the show was on. It had been edited, whatever, and then everyone just called me and said, "What was that you did on the dance floor?" And I said, "Believe it or not, that is the robot." And I have to say, I didn't invent the robot, but I did it. It got a laugh, and then we had a game in a couple of days' time, and I said, if I score, I'll do it, because all the lads seemed to enjoy it, and I thought I won't get on. I was on the bench, and then I did, and then I scored, and then I did it. It just came to me straight away. Let's do that, and people, it just went nuts. I mean, listen now, people now, it's 20 years.
Oh my
I think
God.
2005 I did it.
That's mad.
20 years ago, people were still asking me about it.
Well, it always made me really. So we did a show together. We did the Masked Dancer together. Which
There's only one reason I was on that show.
This guy's a professional footballer, and he did a celebration where he danced once, and now he's a judge on a dance show.
I'm a judge, yeah, genuinely. Like we had OT and Nabusi, right?
Yeah.
And she's danced her entire life, and I have the same kind of. I'm sitting next to her, judging people for dancing. Like it was an absolute.
It made me laugh so much.
But good fun. It's good fun.
It was great. This is what blows my mind. It's like you score a goal, right? And it's like there's 80,000 people going mad. Stoke probably 30, whatever. And like there's like everyone's going crazy. And like you've just scored. You're like, oh my God. How in that moment do you think like, oh, I've got to do that celebration that I've thought about?
Yeah, because that one, like the England one was a bit mad because it was so, I hadn't scored many for England, so even think, because quite often you lose your mind completely and you look back at it and you think, oh, like I wish I'd been cooler there in that moment, but I just kind of lose the plot. But yeah, for that is just literally right at the end after I'd run away from scoring, I just went, oh, I've got to do that thing. And then, 20 years later, I'm still talking about it. I mean, the next day I remember seeing a pullout in the Times and it was like a whole like guide of how to do it. And then there was like, I was watching the TV in my room, it was like CNN had flown people to New York and they had body poppers and they were showing me like where I was going wrong. Sky News, everywhere, every news outlet was like talking about this thing. And it was like, oh my God, it's gone nuts, yeah. But I think that's the thing with celebrations, like they can resonate with people, like the Cristiano Ronaldo one, like all the kids are doing it. My little boy is 6 and, he'll score a goal and he'll do like the Mbappe or a Haaland or, any footballer, Mo Salah, any footballer he sees now, they just love the celebration. I think certainly when you're a kid, like something just switches in your brain that you want to recreate it.
Yeah. Now so there's sort of some managers sort of starting to like ban them. There was a specific one, I think it was Harry Redknapp, banned someone's backflip because it was sort of posing as like an injury risk. And do you think that's something that they should do? Like, again, I do think the same. Like, if someone does a backflip, I'm like, watch those knees, man.
I do think that. Like, I think, the knee slide is something that I could never do. Like, Thierry Henry used to do the knee slide and look so cool doing it. He used to have like a little bit of drift on the knees and it just looked cool.
Thierry on knees.
Thierry on knees, yeah. He was brilliant. That was good.
Thank you, mate.
He was good at that. But the one you said about Harry Redknapp there, I remember that was Alua. And he was a gymnast before he was a footballer. And his was unbelievable. Like he'd run, it was a consistent flip and then it was like a series of flips and then another double flip at the end. It was unbelievable. But he did get injured doing it. He did his hamstring and he was out for like 4 weeks. And that was when Harry said, I think it's time for you to just put your arm in the air.
Just put your arm in the air. Yeah, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at who the winner is of the best goal celebration of all time. Drum roll, please. And the award goes to Roger Miller's Cameroon 1990 World Cup jig, ladies and gentlemen. Do you like that?
Yeah, I do. I do. I absolutely love it. I mean, listen, there's so many celebrations out there, but for me, I was 9 years old when he did this. And it's a bit like the X Factor kind of thing I was talking about before. When there's a whole backstory behind it. And like, he was 38, I think 39. He came back for this World Cup for Cameroon. Cameroon did so well. No one expected him to do well. He scored like a load of goals. And they used to bring him on at half time because he was too old. Right? And then for him to then score, and then he used to do this little jig in the corner flag. And I was 9 years old. I'd never seen anything like it before.
Was that one of the, I don't know, sort of the history of football, but I feel like that must have been one of the first times that was that sort of celebration.
Yeah, I think, obviously celebrations have evolved over the years, right? Back in the day, it was a stern handshake.
Yeah.
No, it was, you might get a little fist pump.
Yeah.
And, well done.
Yeah.
And then obviously being 9 years old and seeing, the 1990 World Cup, which completely mesmerised me anyway. It was in Italy. It was just, I'd never seen football like it in my life. Just even the places and, there was football that was played in sunshine. Even that, I'm used to it raining quite heavily. And then Cameroon were a totally unfancied team. Roger Miller was 38, 39 years old, and he used to come on at half time because he was a part-time footballer, and then to come on and score and do that little jig, and he did it 3 or 4 times, and I was just mesmerised by it. And that's something that really it stuck with me for life. And obviously, in my household, that was the first time I'd ever seen any rhythm. So it was nice. It was nice to see.
You know what, Peter? Can you please pop that celebration on the incredible wall of winners, please?
You did want it high, right?
Nice and high, please, Pete. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, Pete. Oh, it doesn't get higher than that.
Good luck trying to get that one down.
Absolutely fantastic. Are you ready for your second award?
Yes.
The best first sip of a crisp pint.
Oh.
Did you like how I rolled that?
I did, I loved it.
It was quite nice.
Spoke from a true non-pint drinker.
Can you tell? Can you tell? What was I giving off?
I kind of just got that feeling.
because no one's ever gone into a pub and be like, I'll have one of your finest crisp pints, please.
I can't say I've ever done that. Obviously, I was a highly tuned athlete. So I didn't do it so much during my time playing, but I did enjoy them. Actually, one of my favourite pints would be after a game.
Oh yeah. How much are you allowed to celebrate before?
Yeah,
the next vibe?
if we played Saturday to Saturday, I would allow myself a couple of drinks on a Saturday, potentially a Sunday as well. But that first pint after a game, quite often I'd go up and see my mum and dad or family up in upstairs, and that kind of first pint there was always nice.
Like it feels like it's something really deserved.
Yeah,
right? Like
that's exactly right.
I think I don't really drink, especially don't drink beer, but I understand the first sip of beer because I like the first sip. It's just I think the rest of it's rubbish.
Yeah. Well, the next day's rubbish.
Yes.
I would suggest.
That's true.
I actually seem to enjoy it more than one sip.
Like I.
But there's lots of other. I mean, the first one kind of, like you say, when you've achieved something, that's always good. Like winning a match, having that first, it's like a celebration pint.
Yeah.
But we celebrate in all forms. There's like lots of ways to celebrate. Like, even just meeting up with your friends is a celebration. Like, especially now, we've all got kids and families.
Yeah.
Like, that first pint with your mates with no kind of ties it's a lovely pint, that one.
Yeah.
The train pint, the airport pint. There's the holiday pint. There is the festival pint.
Festival pint. Yeah.
There's
expensive festival pints.
Yeah. There's gig pints. There's plenty of pints that are magical.
This is the difference between me and you, Pete. Is like you would enjoy a festival pint, and I'd more likely be the guy going around the festival collecting the plastic cups to get £1.
Right. Okay. Right.
Okay. The best first sip of a crisp pint, and the award goes to, drum roll please, the first sip of a pint on a holiday with no kids. Give him a round of applause. First of all, do you like that little cartoon?
I really do, yeah. I've got a shirt like that.
That's That's you on a holiday, having an absolutely wonderful time. Describe this for us.
Yeah, obviously the no kids element is crucial. Because like if I arrive on holiday with the kids, there's a hell of a lot to do. First and foremost, I'll probably be in the pool. I won't be enjoying it really. As much as I love them, it's not quite. It's not first pint territory. But yeah, that one where you just realised where you've touched down, you've kind of gone through all the hassle of like the bags and checking in, and it's a bit of a ball ache. And then you might have a shower or get changed and head down to poolside or the beach or wherever you want to go. And then that first kind of sip where you go and you kind of go and you take a breath. That one.
Yeah.
And I think there's lots of amazing times where you can have a pint, which I've mentioned, and I love them. But this particular one, I think, even if it's like for 2-3 days, you think we have no issues here now.
Zero responsibilities.
I think that little sip is like, do you know what, that could last for, we could go for 10 hours now. Or we could just have a couple and go to bed. It's just whatever we want to do, we can do it. And I think that is what's so special about the first sip on holiday with no children.
Was absolute. That was like a novel.
Was it really?
It was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Peter, please put your winner up on the wall of fame. best first sip of a crisp pint is on holiday without any kids. Beautifully done, Pete.
Normal height, that one.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And now, a quick break with thanks to the brand behind it all, Argos, and their much-loved A-List. The A-List is an exclusive, curated collection of the hottest trending products from the most desirable brands. The true icons of tech, electricals, gaming, and more, all of which Argos are thrilled to give the star treatment they deserve. They have a whole heap of products which deserve a standing ovation from the likes of Ninja, Nintendo, and Samsung. So, if you fancy browsing a lineup of seriously iconic finds, check out the A-List via the Argos app, subject to availability in selected stores and argos.co.uk. Okay, welcome back to the show, everybody. For our next award, we have something very, very special. This is the A-List Award. What sets it apart, I hear you ask? Well, the nominees are all handpicked from Argos's A-List, the place to find premium brands and must-have products. The category is the item that would have been most popular on the team bus. And you have 3 nominees pulled straight from the A-List. We have, where we go first up, the Ninja Creamy Deluxe. Give them a round of applause. An ice cream maker that turns almost anything into ice cream or frozen yogurt. I like their inclusion of the word almost anything, because I don't think it turns anything into ice cream, guys. Okay, second nominee is, it's quite far away, this one, Soz, guys. Oh, yeah, I bet you're getting your close up. A Nintendo Switch 2 with Mario Kart World, where players can race on either the 1080p screen or easily connect to a TV. And the third nominee is the Samsung S25 Edge. Give a round of applause. What an A-list. What an incredible A-list. The Samsung S25 Edge with its AI-powered software and ultra-thin titanium design. Ultra-thin, just like Peter Crown.
Not titanium, though.
Not titanium, though. Imagine this. You're on a bus trip from Portsmouth to Newcastle. Harry Redknapp offers the lads a selection of items to keep you entertained along the way. Which one of these 3 are you and your teammates choosing between them?
They all make sense to me. Mm-hmm. The Ninja ice cream maker, I actually have one of these.
Stop it.
At home. That's how I'm rolling in my kitchen.
Yeah. That's
so
incredible. You're making your own ice cream, man.
Yeah, well, I don't. The kids love it.
It's when...
but they make me one, and it's really nice. And on a long trip like that, I don't imagine Harry Redknapp, as you say, would enjoy us eating ice cream on the way up. But potentially on the way back, if we'd won,
Yeah.
The boys won't be allowed an ice cream or 2.
Which would be ice cream on the way to a match.
No, that'd be slightly...
Like incredible for the first 7 minutes, then really went downhill from there on in.
Yeah,
The sugar high really.
Ideal. The phone situation is obviously everyone has one now. Like, you can do everything on it, right?
You're speaking the facts.
Yeah, I mean, on a long journey like that, right? You're listening to music, you're speaking to people, you're on social media, taking photos, whatever you want to do.
Was it different like in your time?
Yeah.
Like, because did people on buses talk?
Yeah, we did. We did talk, which was nice. But I think nowadays,
the players all...
yeah, it's very. I think it's very much kind of with the headphones in. It's a little bit different now. But that leads me to the Nintendo Switch, which is probably going to be my winner.
An audible gasp from our wonderful audience. How dare you give it away, man?
Yeah.
That's my goddamn job.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
We used to play this a lot, like Mario Kart we used to play. It's the best of both worlds. It's conversational, but it's technology. So, it's kind of in the middle. You used to play cards, not so much anymore. Now we're playing Mario Kart. Most of us had children, and we're acting like 10-year-old boys. And I've never had so much fun. Like we'd play it on the plane, on the bus, any little moment where you could get 8 people playing Mario Kart together. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't believe it. Like Bojan, Afellay, Marko Nautovic. Bojan was unbelievable. What Bojan couldn't do with a kart, isn't worth knowing.
It's incredible at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter Crouch, the item that would have been most popular on the team bus, and the award goes to...
It's the Nintendo Switch 2.
Come on!
Right.
Put it on the wall. Sorry, you're doing a lot of exercise in this podcast. I do apologise. You said about your bad knees, and I'm making you get up and down and up and down. Well done. Okay, we're moving on. And your fourth award, Pete, is the GOAT Indian Order. Pete, what's the story with this one, man?
You threw me there saying like I ordered goat, but I don't.
It did sound like that.
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
It sounded like you were having goat in your Indian curry.
No,
Is that not the case?
I don't, no.
It was more the greatest of all time Indian Order. Is that the vibe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, do you want it? Straight, like, do you want me to give it to you straight away?
Give me some of your nominees, please.
My nominees?
Give me some of your nominees.
Well, I'm pretty old school when it comes to, like, I started, pretty early with, like traditional kind of curry, and then Madras, you kind of go up, Vindaloo. The File just is a bit too far for me.
Is that like super?
I've gone up there in
This
in
is
spice.
honestly been great for me, Pete, because I've realised we have no shared interests.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
But somehow it works. It's the same with my wife. We have absolutely no interests that we share or passions. But it seems to work,
That's fantastic. When I grew up, we just never had a good Indian restaurant, or didn't have an Indian restaurant near us. So we always had fish and chips. So I didn't know until I went to Edinburgh Comedy Festival, where they have incredible Indian cuisine up there. And so I didn't have one until I was probably like 25, 26.
Oh, really? See, I kind of grew up on it, I did eat other things as well, but quite often we'd go to the local Indian restaurant, have a chicken tikka and then a masala and then kind of a curry. Then I've gone on to a Madras now. I've ventured into Vindaloo territory.
Is that too far, Vindaloo?
The Vindaloo is on the cusp, because once you get into spice, I don't know if you're like this, but once I got into the spice, I didn't really get it. But then I kind of wanted to push myself. You get to the point where, like, I don't know if it's because I played football and I want to continually get better.
Yeah.
But
competitive.
Yeah, maybe. I won't let like the Vindaloo beat me. So I kind of got to the Vindaloo level, and then I pushed it to the File, which was like just a bridge too far.
You pushed it too far?
Yeah. I mean, I even the dip of the naan bread in that is too explosive.
Really?
Yeah.
Peter Crouch, the GOAT Indian Order. And the award goes to, drumroll please. Ironically, that's what your butthole's going to sound like tomorrow.
Yes.
It goes to...
It's a chicken tikka starter, Joel, and it's a chicken madras. It's plain rice, Bombay aloo, and a garlic naan.
Oh, give a round of applause.
Thank you.
Bombay aloo. What's a Bombay aloo?
Well, it's like a kind of potato dish. Very nice.
I need to try. I'm going to, you know what? There's a little post-it note on the back here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to order that tonight. Thank you very much. Peter Crouch, put that on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Award 4. Absolutely excellent. I feel like I'm learning a lot about you, Peter Crouch. Hopefully our listeners will be too. I'm actually quite hungry now, to be fair. Okay, Peter, award number 5. It's the big one. It's the award we will ask every single guest on, and the award goes to. And it is the absolute best feeling in the world. So what we want to hear, Pete, is what you think is like, just that thing that's the most electrifying feeling in the world, something that sparks just pure joy from Peter Crouch. What are the nominees, please? Oh,
well, I kind of know what I've chosen.
Okay. Well, you know what? Should we just go for it?
Well, yeah. I'm starting to feel slightly guilty now, because there are amazing moments in life, like the birth of my children.
Yep.
And like getting married.
Yep.
So I do feel slightly guilty that I've picked this now.
Did you celebrate all of those incredible moments with a robot?
No.
No? So when your children were born, you didn't decide to
No, that's what I mean, So, like, with kids, I'm not trying to compare it, having babies, to my eventual winner. but you kind of know that you're going to have them.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Do you know, like for 9 months, I'm ready for that moment. Like, it's not just happened.
Yep.
Do you know, if babies came out at like randomly, that it would be really euphoric, wouldn't it? Oh my God, we've had a boy. But like, what? I've got to tell you what it is.
Tell me what your winner is.
Because then I can explain it.
The absolute best feeling in the world. And the award goes to Peter Crouch. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, it is scoring a goal.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it has to be. I know what you mean. It's like there's something about like the fact that like you might be a professional footballer and you might not score a goal for your whole career. It's because you've worked so hard for that moment, and it's unexpected because it's a huge moment. Like you say, it's like you sort of for 9 months,
Yeah, like that is it's the best thing that's ever happened to me is obviously having children. I absolutely love it. But what I'm saying is like as a moment like that, like I say, I did know that was going to happen. So with a goal, it just you score it, and then you all the lead up to it, all the build up to it, and then if you think about it, like I think the most I played in front of was say 90,000 at Wembley. So and then you think, pretty much 80,000 people, just something you've done has made them stand up.
Yeah.
And then everyone is sharing that kind of euphoria together. There's something special about that. And I think, certainly there's one goal that really sticks out in my mind. There was some really great ones that I scored and some important ones. But there was one for Tottenham against Manchester City away. It was one game to get in the Champions League. And I remember scoring the goal that got us into the Champions League, against the odds. And I remember running behind the goal after I'd scored it and kind of just running behind it. And thankfully it was at the away end. And just a sea of people going absolutely crazy. And you just think it's just undescribable kind of feeling. I remember seeing my dad and bizarrely, because I knew where he was sitting before the game, so I kind of looked towards him. I saw him, and he fell like 4 flights of stairs.
What?
And he fell down and I lost him completely in a sea of limbs. And I kind of like people jumped on me, and then I looked up and I saw him again, like 4 rows in front, and just that moment is something that will live with me, forever.
Okay, Pete, pop it on the wall, my friend. Give it a round of applause, of course. It's scoring a goal. Of course it is. Not many people who've done that. Okay, right, before we go, let's recap on your slate of incredible award winners. You gave us, for the best goal celebration, you went with Roger Milla and Cameroon 1990 World Cup jig. Give a round of applause. For the best first sip of a crisp pint, you went with the first sip of a pint on holiday with no kids. Give it a round of applause. For the item that would have been most popular on the team bus, you went with Nintendo Switch 2 with Mario Kart World. Give him a round of applause. For the Goat Indian restaurant order, you went with a chicken tikka starter, madras, plain rice, garlic naan, and Bombay aloo. And lastly, for the best feeling in the world award goes to scoring a goal. Give him a round of applause. Are you satisfied, Pete, with all your winners?
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with that.
No.
I mean, plenty of people will, I'm sure, but I'm pleased with it.
I'm pleased with it too, and I'm very pleased with your placement as well. You've gone for around the sign.
Yeah, I kind of went, it was all symmetrical until scoring a goal, but I wanted to put scoring a goal up there next to Roger Milla because it just felt right.
You know what? Your instinct was correct.
Thank you.
I absolutely love you, Peter Crouch. Thank you so much for being here. And that's it for this episode of And the Award Goes To. Thank you to Peter for bringing his absolute best. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow. I'm being played off, but I'll finish. Hit follow, drop us a rating, and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We will be back next time with a fresh guest and 5 more awards to hand out. Until then, head to the Argos app and check out the A-list for all your must-have tech, electricals, and premium brands. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.